catch up?
Yeah, catch up. Definitely. If you're a little bit behind, this is a great week to do that. We're going to go through how to do this. I would do your assignments right after class, honestly, if you haven't already, because then it's fresh in your head. And yeah, I would catch up. I will not be available tomorrow just because of travel and then working, but I am going to take a few people on Friday. So there is that. So yeah, catch up. I like that. Catch up is good. So today we're going to talk about how to graph using tables and then how to graph using slope intercept form. So yeah. All right, so go ahead and get those notebooks out if you don't have them out already. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to use a table to graph this function. And what you guys are going to want to write down is this little XY table here. Okay, now some people have this XY table and they do it like this. They show, this is kind of a way I've done it. X, and then this is the work, and then this is Y. That is one way that sometimes people have shown it. And when you're graphing this function, y equals 3x minus 6, okay? Hi, girly girl. You need to sit. Sorry, I've got my lovely daughter here. Lizzie, go sit down. I'm going to mute for a second to spare you guys the redirection. Ah. Okay, cool. So what you guys are going to want to write down in your notebooks is this table, some version of it, whatever makes sense to you. And then you're going to want to draw the XY axis. You don't need to draw all these little grids. All you really need to draw is your Y axis and then your X axis. Okay, and then you guys will want to draw, like, when we put the points on, little lines like that, and you can kind of match it up. Okay, any questions about what to copy down? Because sometimes that can cause confusion. I've had a lot of students who've tried to draw this grid. You don't need to do that. All I want you to draw is, here's like a mini version, is something like that in your notebooks. Oh my goodness. Husband, I have a class. I'm busy, husband. And I should have put my phone on silent. That's a reminder to you guys to have your phones on silent and be off of Discord and all that stuff while we are doing this. Yeah. Silly husband. Okay, so you guys are going to draw a little mini XY axis. There's the X, there's the Y, and then you're going to draw little tick marks on the graph. Okay, so like if you want to draw the point 3, 2, you would just kind of line it up like that. That's what you're drawing. Okay. Okay, so first step with plotting points using a graph and a line and all that is you get to pick your X values. And traditionally, people will start with 0, and then they'll pick some negatives, and then they'll pick some positive. Usually, you're going to pick smaller values. Sometimes it makes sense to pick different values, and I'll show you what that means in our next example. But pick small values, you know. And then what do you guys think we're going to do? If we are picking values for X, we know that Y equals 3 times X minus 6. What are we going to do with each one of those X values? Because ultimately, we want to get a Y value so that we can plot the points. Anybody have any ideas of what we're going to do with those X values? I bet you there are some. We got lots of big brains in here. And even if you don't know, you could just throw a guess out there. Yeah, we're going to multiply what by 3 though, Lucy? You're right. We're going to end up doing that. Yes, and then subtract 6. You're totally right. So all we're going to do is we're going to take each of those x values, plug them into the function to get a y. And that's why I like this version of the xy table, because then you can show the work. And notice how when we plug in that x value, we're going to use parentheses for where you're plugging it in. Okay? And we're going to do it with every single x value. And who knows, a good calculator we could use. Who knows? Is the calculator your teacher's secretly a spokesmodel for? Desmos! Yes. If that was your guess, you are absolutely correct. Yes. Okay, so I put the link in chat. Yes, Malachi, you can also do that. There might be questions that require you to fill out the whole table, but you're right. Technically, you only need to find the first two. I'm going to say 3 because 3 points make a line, really. But technically, you'd be fine with 2. Oh, the pattern in the table? Aha, yeah, that's a good point. Let's do the first two and then we'll see what he's talking about. So we can do 3 and then our parentheses, -2 minus 6. And you don't even have to type it in every time, guys. That's what the beauty of this is. So this one's -12. What we can do is we can go into Desmos and just put your cursor right in the middle of those parentheses and change it to a -1. It's even easier. -9. Hello, person who just entered or who came back in. So all we're doing is every time we're replacing it with a new value. Okay, so what Malachi was talking about is he talks about how he finds the first 3 values, or two values rather, in the table. And then he just follows the pattern. So it looks like from -12 to -9 to -6. What do you guys think the next one will be? Yeah, -3. And you can either do the math or you can follow the pattern like Malachi is suggesting. Either one works just fine. And what about the final one? 0. Yep, because you would get 3 times 2 is 6 minus 6 is, I've got too many things open on here, I tell you. There is 0. Okay, what do I do now? Now I have a table, so what? What does that mean? What am I actually going to put on the graph? What do you guys think? What did that tell me? I just went in. Yeah, I just found out all these XY values. I found all the coordinates. Good. So my first coordinate is -2, -12. My next one would be -1, -9. Then we have 0, -6, 1, -3, 2, 0. So that just told me a whole bunch of coordinates. Do we have to graph every single coordinate? If you're thinking no, that's right. Say no. Lizzie, go sit down. Lizzie, go sit. Not on mama. I should have been more specific. No, you don't have to graph every single one. You just need to graph 3, maybe. Pick the middle 3 or the lower 3, whatever's easiest. Can I get some people to graph this for me? Especially since I got a little munchkin on my lap. She's not feeling good. What do you guys think? Hey, Lizzie, put your foot. Oh man, sorry guys. Okay. What do you guys think? Do you remember how to graph? The horizontal is X, the vertical is Y. Oh, I just changed the slide. Hold on, I'll go back. Okay. What do you think? Who can graph? And then we can flip around. We don't need to start with -2, -12. Let's graph 2, 0. Where would that be? 2 on the X and 0 on the Y. Nobody knows where 2, 0 is. What? What? Should I do the first one? I got it. And I'm going out of order too. So 2, 0 means I'm going to go to the right 2. And it's going to be right on the line. Bam, there's 2, 0. So that one's graphed. Who can do 1, -3? One, -3. Like if X was 3, you could find that out, Malachi. You could put X in there. Yeah, that's okay. You don't have to do negatives. Oh, we forgot that one. You're totally right. I just saw that. Okay, yeah, we can put that on there. If X was 3, what would we get? Yeah, we would get 3. Good job. So you can graph 3, 3. That works too. So who's going to go put a point on there? Malachi, can I choose you? Or Piper? Or Freya? I need some graphing point helpers. How about Malachi, you graph the point 3, 3. Bless you. Oh my goodness. Piper, can you graph 1, -3? Cool. Thank you. And then Freya, what about 0, -6? That's perfect. Good job, guys. That's good. And you know what, Freya, I think you're even off the hook because we have 3 people up there. No problem. Because you're so awesome. Good job. Yeehaw! Yeah, you guys are awesome. So I'm going to put a a line up there. Yeah, that's it. That's all we got to do. Okay, and you can kind of see, guys, that the yeah, are you surprised? Oh no, not like for the whole session, just for right now. So yeah, so we graph those points, and you guys can even see how it continues. Like, look, here would be 0, -6, and all that stuff. So good work. Good job, you guys. There would be -1, -9, you know. Yeah, any questions on this example? We're gonna do another one. Okay, I wanna make sure. It was a little bit radio silent when I wanted someone to draw points. So I just wanna make sure we're good. Okay, we're gonna do this one now. And I have a question for you guys. Why do we have, look at on our XY table here, why do we have -6, 3? Why did we skip like 1 and 2? Why are we doing that? So if this is our function, why do you guys think that we're skipping 1 and 2 and 5 and all that? Very good, Lucy. You are so right. You are so right. Yeah, very good. So look at our function here, you guys. We have y equals 1/3 x. And remember, when you multiply by a third, that's exactly the same as dividing by 3. So this function is exactly the same as y equals x divided by 3. Exactly the same. So what I could do here is I could take all these numbers and just divide by 3. That's it, because those functions mean the same thing. If you had y equals 1/2 x, this is the same as y equals x divided by 2. If you have 1/4 x, it's the same as x divided by 4. So whenever you have a fraction, you want to pick whatever can be divided by that denominator. Otherwise, what type of a point would we end up with? Like if I put x equals 1 in there, I'd get y equals 1/2 or 1/3. Why is it kind of tough to graph this? Why would that be tough? Yeah, the grid isn't like that. The grid goes by ones. It doesn't go by fractions. You could do it, but it wouldn't be very accurate. So let's figure this out. What if I plugged here? Let's change it to, I like this version a little bit better. So instead of the 1/3 x, I'm writing x divided by 3. And then we can even put the points in there. I like this grid better. So let's plug in our -6 for x. We would get -6 divided by 3. What does that give me for y? What is -6 divided by 3? -2. Thanks, Malachi. Very good. So then we would put those points together. -6, -2. Good. Yeah, and then that's our first point we would graph. Who can put that on the grid for me? Lucy? Remember, even if I say your name, if I ask someone to grid, to put it on the grid, I can't tell who does it. So if you do it wrong, I don't know who did it. You know? So I'll say a few names. Lucy, Freya, Malachi, Ava, Audrey, Emma. Yeah, someone did it. Woo, and you did it perfect. That's awesome. So that's -6, -2. Very good. Good. Okay, let's do it again. Now we're going to do it with -3. We're going to plug -3 in there for x. What is -3 divided by 3? That's okay, you're still awesome. What is -3 divided by 3? Yeah, -1. Very good. So we have -3, -1. Cool. And Malachi, can you graph that one, or whoever? We still got to plug in 0, 3, and 6. Perfect. So we'll plug in 0. So we have 0 divided by 3. What's 0 divided by 3? 0. Yep. So this is just the point 0, 0. Everybody knows where that point is, right? Right in the middle. Who can put that one up there? Anybody. We can even have some overlap points. I don't care. I think we need some better stamps. Don't you guys? More variety. That's what I think. Yeah, I agree there. So 3 divided by 3. Now we're plugging in the next point. What's 3 divided by 3? And technically we could be done. We could just draw in our line and be good, but we'll just finish. We'll be good little students. What's 3 divided by 3? What would my y value be? 1. That's right. Very good. So we would have 3, 1. Yeah, you could, Malachi. You don't even need to. You can kind of like, look, you can kind of follow that slope, right? Do you guys see? Remember, 1/3 is the slope. So all we're doing is we're going up 1 over 3, up 1 over 3, up 1 over 3. That's all we're doing. And that's a much quicker way to graph. That's what we're going to talk about next. So we plug in our 6. Oops. We get 2, and our last point is 6, 2. And don't forget, guys, it's super easy to put a lot of work in to all of that and then forget your line, but don't forget your line. Because you're not just graphing points, you're actually graphing a line. Cool. Any questions about that? Any preguntas? Okay. Now we're going to talk about the easy way to graph. I love this one. So now we're going to talk about slope-intercept form. And this is like classic. Oh, I know. They're really hard to draw in Moodle. Yeah, always do your best. Always, always. Okay, so this is definitely what you guys are going to want to write down right here. Y equals mx plus b. M is your slope. That's the rise over the run. And the b is the y-intercept. It's where your graph crosses the y-axis. And when it crosses the y-axis, your x is always a 0. Okay? So if you're given a line, like number 1 here, you should be able to put it into y equals mx plus b form. All that you're going to have to do is fill out the M and the B. And I would fill out your B first. So what's the B, guys? Where is this graph crossing the y-axis? What number? And remember, this is positive x, this is negative x, positive y, negative y. And you guys are right, it's crossing at -4. So instead of b at the end, I'm going to put -4. Could you also put -4? Is that the same thing? Is that the same thing, guys? Plus -4 or -4? Say yes, it's the same thing. Totally the same thing. Yeah. Beautiful. Perfect. Okay, so now we're going to start at that y-intercept at the leftmost point, and we're going to count to see what our slope is to get to that next point on the right. So which way would I go from that y-intercept? It's like my starting point there. Which way would I go? Would I go up or down first? If I want to try and get to the next point.
Up.
Up. I'm going to go up. How far up would I go, Emma? Up 3. Yep, I'm going to go up 3. And then right how many? 1. Yep. And you don't want to leave it as 3 over 1 because that's not considered a simplified number. You're just going to say, whoops, y. Hi, baby girl. Don't do that. What do you need, Liz? Don't do that, honey. 3x minus 4. Or 3x plus negative 4. Same thing. Good stuff, guys. Oh. My beautiful little girl throwing goldfish everywhere. Arrgh. All right. So what do you think about number 2? Where is the crossing point for number 2? Where does it cross that y-axis? At negative 4 again? Yeah, I agree. Perfect. Okay, and then what would the slope be? What does it take to get from here to here? 1/3. So Malachi says 1/3. That would mean that from the left point, we're going to go up 1 and right 3. You guys agree with him? All right, let's do it. Up 1, 1, 2, 3. Very good. That is right. Nicely done, my friend. Y equals 1/3 x plus negative 4. Very good. Where is the crossing point for number 3? Right here. Where does it cross in there? Audrey, Ava, Emma, Ayub, other people I haven't heard from in a while. Addie, Andrea. Oh, I've heard from you. Nadia, what do you guys think? Where is Cade, Vlad? Oh, I've heard from Vlad. Chase, what do you guys think for number 3? Where is this graph crossing? Hey, Malachi, you are being wonderful. That's okay. You are helpful to many who want to just sit back and chillax, so you're good. But I appreciate that too. Thank you. Addie says at 0, 2. Addie is right. You guys agree with her? Crosses right here. It is 2 above. Yep, definitely. Very good. And since the x is 0, we're just going to put that plus 2 at the end of our equation. Good. So now this one doesn't really have like set points, but that's okay because what we'll do is we'll just pick where it crosses real nicely. It looks like it crosses there, right? Guys agree? There would be another one. But we're just going to go from the left point to get to this point here. Which way would I go? How do I get from that point on the left to the point on the right? And remember, you got to go up or down first and then to the right. I'm going to go down. How many, Addie? Down 1, so negative 1. And then to the right, how many? 2. Good. Down 1, right 2. Good job, guys. So we have a slope of negative 1/2 x plus 2. Perfect. Any preguntas there? Any questions? And if you're looking at this and you're like, what? This does not make sense, just let me know. I will help you. Okay, so now let's graph. Let's graph all this stuff. So this is my equation, okay? My b is the starting point. Which one's my b up there? Which one of those numbers in that first function is my b? What do you guys think? bless you. Go get a tissue, love. What do you think? And remember, Lizzie, don't. Oh my gosh. She says she can't get a tissue. She's just going to sit with boogers on her face. There we go. I got it. Oh, that's okay. I'm always distracted. Andrea, you are right. Very good. That's the 4. That's right. Okay, 1 second. Sit next to me. So 4 is my B. So that means that is my starting point, okay? So if 4 is the B, the y-intercept, what is the slope? Which one of those numbers is the slope? Yeah, very good. Only I think it's -4/3. But you're right, yes. It works. The meaning is the same. I got you. Okay, so now when we graph this, now that we've identified our intercept and our slope, the intercept is that starting point. So we want to put a dot on the graph where the y-intercept is 4. Where is my y-intercept at 4? Where would I put a dot? Anybody can dot this one for me. And remember, we're working backwards. So think about like where you saw the y-intercept on the previous slide. Now we want to put it on there. Where would I? Yes, very good. That is my y-intercept of 4. Very good. That's definitely a beautiful y-intercept of 4. Good. So now we need to put our next point on there. And to do that, we're going to follow the slope. And the slope tells us which way to move from that y-intercept. What does a slope of -4/3 mean? Which way would I go? From that. Yep, I'm going to go down. How far, Andrea? You're so right. Down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then which way? Right 3. Yeah, right 3. I knew what you meant. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. And if you wanted to, you could do it again. You could go down 4, right 3. But you don't have to. 2 is enough. Oh, that's okay. That's all right. You're doing fine. You're doing good. Okay. And then you draw your line. Nice. Okay, next one. Where is the y-intercept or the b in this one here? Where is the y-intercept here? And if you think about the word slope intercept, it's like slope is always first, intercept is next. So which one's my y-intercept? This one's a tricky one. That's why I have it up there. So don't feel bad if you miss something. It's easy to miss. What do you guys think? And if you don't want to say it in chat, you could write it on the board. Excuse me. What do you guys think? Which one's my y-intercept?
-4.
Yeah, very good. Emma was not fooled. Go, Emma. Good job. So -4 is what you want to pick. Remember, if you have a minus sign in there, that goes with your y-intercept. Okay, so don't forget if there's a minus in your equation, that's your y-intercept. So and we'll do that next. What about our slope? What's our slope then? Yep, it would be, good catch with the 3/1. And that is helpful to understand it like that. It really is. Okay, where am I going to put my y-intercept then? Who can put a dot at a y-intercept of -4? Perfect. That's absolutely correct. That is a y-intercept of -4. It's down 4 on the y-axis. And then which way would I move from that point according to my slope? What do you guys think? Which way would I move? Up 3? Yep. And then right 1. Very good. 1, 2, 3, right 1. And then you could do another one. 1, 2, 3, right 1. 1, 2, 3, right 1. I love it when the slope is 1/1. I just have so much fun going up 1, right 1. I'm a math nerd. I admit it. Woohoo! Okay. And that's it. Don't forget the graph or the line of the graph, because a lot of people, once you spend so much time focusing on the points, they'll forget about the graph, the actual line. So, beans cereal. Ooh, sounds healthy. Okay, this is the last thing we have to talk about. I don't know if the homework involves this, so we're going to do a little bit today and then a little bit next week. I don't think it involves this. But let's say that you're given a slope. This part can frustrate people sometimes. So watch today. We'll do it again next week, and then hopefully we'll be pretty good at it then. So sometimes to write the formula, you are just given the slope. Oops, go back. You are just given the slope and then a point for it to go through. Okay, and you could just graph it out. You could graph your point and then move according to the slope, but we want to learn how to do it algebraically. So what we're going to do, here are your steps. Your first step is you're going to substitute the slope in for m into the equation. And then you're going to substitute the x and the y into there and then solve to find your b. Okay? So if you are given the slope of a line and then a point for it to go through and you have to write the equation, your first step is going to be to write y equals mx plus b down. Then I'm going to plug stuff in to y, m, and x and then solve for my b. In this information, guys, what would I put in for my y? What would my y value be? And we're doing this to get the equation. That's why we're doing this. Because this -2,7 is not a y-intercept. I can't just put it at the end. In order for it to be a y-intercept, that x would have to be 0. So which one of those numbers, there's a -4, a -2, and a 7, which one of those is my y? 7, yeah, very good. What about my m? Which one's my m? Which one's the m? The -4 or the -2? 7 is y, we've already established that. Come on, guys, 50-50 chance. You got this. Go, algebra. Mama. Oh my goodness. My daughter's leaking boogers. This is our last slide, friends. Don't give up now. What do you guys think? Which one's my m in that information? M kind of says so in the steps up here. Substitute the in for m. Yeah, it's -4. Very good. And that means -2 is my x. So now I'm just going to solve. We're going to get 7 equals -4 times -2 is 8 plus b. Solving a one-step equation, I would subtract 8. And I get -1 equals b. So my final equation would be y equals -4x minus 1. That's it. Who thought that was confusing?
Hi.
Oh, Lizzie said it was confusing. Is mommy being confusing? Hey, sit down. Oh my gosh. Yeah, just kind of go with it. No, I'm just kidding. No, seriously, ask questions if it doesn't. Did anybody look at the assignment? Do you guys know if it involves this? I'm not too sure. I could look, I suppose. It doesn't. Okay. Okay, then I think maybe we'll save that. Hold on, I'm just gonna check. Because, yeah, I don't want to lose you, but I want to make sure you guys have enough information for the homework. Okay. Homework and test manager. Oh, you only did the Moodle one. Okay. Okay, that's probably under writing. Yeah, this is just graphing. Cool. Okay, so we'll talk about that later. Definitely. Yeah. So, cool. I just wanted to show you one because we will hit on it quite a few times. But that's all I have for you, lovely people. Excellent work today. If you have any questions,